Good morning, folks. This is Deb. So I'm responding to some of the comments from last night's video. First of all, I'm going to make it really clear I'm not apologizing for the video last night, okay? Um, but I do want to make some commentary on it. Now, I read every single comment on every single video, and some people who watch my channel do not even comment on my video. They send me emails because my email is posted under posts, and I respond to those people as well. All right. Some people don't like to respond on comment threads for whatever reason. I don't question that. Number one, last night's video was not about the refereeing or the physicality, but somehow many of the comments were about that. One of the commenters stated that if Caitlyn Clark has so much say with the fever, she complained about the physicality and nothing was done. First of all, let me explain something to you. The fever alone can't fix the referee problem. It is a referee problem. It's not a physicality issue, okay? Because Caitlyn Clark has openly stated that she finds it frustrating and unbelievable that people don't perceive women as either competitive or physical. She said that women's sports and basketball have always been physical sports. So she is not complaining about the physicality of the sport. The problem is the refereeing is an issue. The whistles aren't blown consistently. Sometimes they're not blown at all. Punishment is not handed out sometimes during the game in which the infraction occurs. Okay? Film is reviewed after the game and they fine people the next day. That doesn't work. But until those issues are made a league problem, and more players than Caitlyn Clark and more teams than the Fever make it an issue, it will not be addressed. Okay? You heard Kathy Engelbert say the people complaining about the refereeing are the teams that aren't very good. Well, we saw that all changed. Okay? Becky Hammond complained. Stephanie White complained. Stephanie White's been fined several times for her complaints. Natalie Nakasi complained. Okay, once other players and once other coaches began to get involved in the complaints about the referees, it got elevated to the level that it needed to be elevated to. This isn't just a Caitlyn Clark issue. Once it's perceived as only a Caitlyn Clark issue, you get some of the comments that I saw. She's just a whiny person who can't handle the physicality. It is not just Caitlyn Clark that is getting injured. There are other players who have gotten injured all year long. Okay? And by the way, do I think that she was targeted in her rookie year? Yes, I do. I absolutely do. But it didn't stop Caitlyn Clark from playing. It certainly didn't stop Caitlyn Clark from breaking 62 records. And she certainly was not intimidated or backed down from anybody. Which brings me to my second point. My only point of the video was I do not want to spend incessant hours talking about how Caitlyn Clark needs protection, talking about how the Indiana Fever doesn't respect her. We now know from Sophie Cunningham that Caitlyn Clark wields a considerable amount of power within the Fever organization and within the development of the Fever's system, as she should. She is not the average player. She is someone who transcends nearly everybody I've ever seen play women's basketball. Actually, everybody. I've never seen anyone before her play like this. Okay? The closest who came to being as complete a player as Caitlyn Clark, in my opinion, was Maya Moore, and that is Caitlyn Clark's number one idol. Okay? She modeled most of her game after Maya Moore, and you will see that when I show you the video tonight. With her 6 favorite players. And I don't see anybody currently playing that plays like Caitlyn Clark. Whether someone else comes down the road, I don't know. But one NBA player said maybe in 20 years, a lot of people will be playing like Caitlyn Clark. So the players in the NBA recognize her greatness. With that level of greatness, like with LeBron James, comes the ability to have a huge voice within the system that they play in. And I believe Caitlyn Clark has that voice. And we know now that that's true because Sophie Cunningham has confirmed that. That is not something, and generally speaking, that teams tell people. All right. But Sophie Cunningham is Sophie Cunningham. All right. I also uh, don't want to spend my time. So for Caitlyn Clark, it's annoying that she can't believe that women are competitive and physical. Okay. For me, the annoyance comes that Caitlyn Clark is this little girl from Iowa who needs us to help her navigate her way through the basketball world. I find that annoying. Okay. Caitlyn Clark didn't get here because she didn't know what she was doing. Caitlyn Clark put the work in to become the great basketball player that she is. Okay? Caitlyn Clark is perfectly capable of navigating her basketball career. Okay? She has done so. We watched her miss most of the season, okay, due to injury. And no one can pinpoint who attacked Caitlyn Clark on the court that caused that injury. Okay? Nobody. All right? And it may not have even been the result of that because injuries like groin injuries, like ACLs and MCLs, kind of just happen. All right? It doesn't have to be that anybody did it deliberately. Remember all the stuff about Sophie Cunningham being attacked, and Sophie Cunningham kept saying, no, that's not what happened. But people didn't want to let that go. Some people don't want to let go that Caitlyn Clark needs protection. We are fans. We can't protect Caitlyn Clark. We are not there to protect Caitlyn Clark. And Caitlyn Clark is navigating her career. She was frustrated at not being able to play. Okay? When people saw her, crying on the bench at the Boston game, which I attended, it was because, oh, she's so miserable in the WNBA. No, that actually wasn't what it was. She was frustrated because she knew she was injured yet again and that she would be not able to be on the court. That is what that was. And she said that herself. She's not miserable in the WNBA. This is where she wants to play. It is where she's always wanted to be. She's not leaving for Europe. She's not preferring Unrivaled. And by the way, you want to see some physical play? Unrivaled is pretty physical. So let me just say this so we clear the air. I'm not attacking everybody. All right. The fact that I've been accused of attacking my fans. Why? Because I said I would remove comments. I remove comments all the time. Okay. There are some comments I won't allow on my comment thread. Some of them are ugly. Some of them are misogynistic. Some of them are racist. And some of them just aren't going to see the light of day there. All I stated was that I don't want to spend all off season and all season long talking about Caitlyn Clark needing protection because I believe that Caitlyn Clark doesn't need protection. Okay? Caitlyn Clark is a strong human being. Okay? And a strong woman and a competitive woman. And a woman who can not only handle physicality, but can dish some of it out as well. Because that is the nature of the sport. So again, my intention wasn't to lump everyone together because I got accused of that too. I didn't. I can't call people out specifically. Okay? So I'm talking to my followers, but I'm certainly not accusing all of my followers of doing anything. I'm simply saying I don't want this channel to, just like I don't want my channel to develop into a conspiracy theory basketball channel, which we have plenty of. I don't want my channel to devolve into a poor Caitlyn Clark channel. I want to celebrate who Caitlyn Clark is. Okay? And she is far stronger than a lot of people think she is. I will talk to you guys later tonight.